Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this session, we are going to talk about tree traversal. Traversing is the process of visiting each node in a tree, usually for some specific purpose. There are three main types, and we will begin with preorder traversal. In preorder traversal, it is important to remember that we always start from the root node. That is actually why it is called preorder. The root comes first. In our case, the root has the value of 20, so we add 20 to our root list. Next, we go to the left child, but instead of just a node, we see a left subtree. So we start the process again for that subtree. The root of this left subtree is 18, so we add 18 to the list. Now again, we move to the left, and again we find a subtree. We repeat the process. Find the root of this subtree, which is 10, and add that to the list. This time, we have one node on the left side and one on the right side. So we add them to the left and right positions in the list. Then we backtrack and gather all these values into the left position of the previous step we were processing. At this point, the root and left positions are done, but we still need to handle the right node. The right child here has a value of 14. So we add 14 to the right position of the list. Now the traversal of the left subtree is complete. We step back again and add all these values into the left position of the very first list we were processing. Next, we move to the right side. On the right side, we have a subtree. First, we visit its root and add it to the root position of the list. Then we add 6 to the left and 24 to the right positions. Finally, we gather all of these values into the right position of the list, and that's it. We've completed the preorder traversal. As you can see, each node is visited in a specific order, and all nodes are now marked as visited. Now let's move on and talk about Inorder traversal. In this approach, the root is visited in between, after the left node and before the right one. So, simply put, the order is left, root, right. Let's consider the same tree again. We start by visiting the left side. Since there is a subtree on the left, we keep going until we hit the first left node, which is basically a leaf node without having any children. Here we find another subtree. And finally, we reach the node with a value of 4. We add that to the left position of the list, because this is the leaf node. Then we go back up and visit its parent node, which is the value of 10, and add it to the root position of the list. Lastly, we visit the right child, which is 11, and add that to the right position of the list. This gives us a complete set for this small subtree, 4, 10, and 11. Now we place this whole group into the left position of the previous list we were processing. Next, we add 18 to the root position and 14 to the right position of the list. Then we place this list of values into the left position of the list from the very first stage we were processing. And now we must visit the root node with a value of 20. After adding the root node to the list, we must process the right side. Now we visit the right side. On the right side, we have a subtree. We add 6 to the left position of the list, 8 to the root position, and 24 to the right position of the list. In case of Inorder traversal, for each processing, we must follow the rule for visiting the left side first, then root node, and lastly the right side. We gather all these values to insert them into the right position of the very first list we were processing. With that, we have finished Inorder traversal. Now let's talk about Postorder traversal. It's called Postorder because the root is visited last. So the order here is left, right, and then root. Let's walk through it step by step. First, we try to visit the left node, but again, instead of a single node, we find a left subtree. So we create a new list to traverse this subtree separately. Inside this subtree, there is yet another subtree on the left. So again, we create another list to process that one. Eventually, we reach the first left node, which is 4 here, and without having any children. Add it to the left position of the list. Then we go to the right node, which is 11, and add that to the right position of the list. Finally, we add 10 as the root of this small subtree. We take this group and place it into the left position of the list from the previous stage we were processing. Next, we visit the right child, which is 14, and add it to the right position of the list. Then we add 18 as the root. Now we take all the values to insert them into the left position of the list from the very first step we were processing. And then we should process the right side. On the right side, we have another subtree. So we repeat the same process. Start by visiting 6 and put it into the left position of the list. Then add 24 to the right position of the list and 8 as the root. Place all these values into the right position of the very first stage we were processing. And finally, we add the last node, which is 20. That's it. We've completed the post-order traversal, and the tree has been fully visited. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and thanks for watching. Feel free to ask any question in the comments.